The Harvard Business School learning model has 4 elements: case preparation, discussion groups, class discussion, and individual reflection. You might wonder what case prep means. A case seems like the Sphinx in Egypt. It's impressive, but it gives nothing away. Say you have a case in front of you. You start reading, highlighting information you think is important. Except that you don't know what information is important yet, and your brain is overwhelmed by details. Instead, consider this approach. First, read the assignment questions to get a sense of what's important and what's not. Then read the beginning and end of the case. Skim the other sections and the exhibits to see what information they contain. Now stop and think. You're the protagonist. What do you need to know to resolve the main issue? Quickly list those things, and please don't worry about being wrong. Next, read the case to find and mark places with information related to your list. Now carefully read and reflect on the information you've identified. How does it connect to the main issue? If you were the protagonist, what would you do? Remember, this process is the beginning, not the end of your thought process. And with strong case prep, you'll be ready for your discussion group.
The first thing I thought about when I was reading my first case was, do I really have to read this whole thing?
I was wondering, am I going to get cold called? What information do I actually need to know? Do I need to remember all of this?
I was very overwhelmed, I was very nervous. I was really confused about what notes mattered.
The case method itself, I think, is unique because it encourages you to take a lot of facts, find the decision points that are meaningful to you and therefore meaningful to the protagonist, and then explain what your decision is and then come back out and explain how the facts support that decision. It's a nice sort of hourglass shape to a conversation that actually does prepare you for the way in which work gets done as a manager, as a leader in organizations around the world.
I think a mistake that a lot of students make is that they are preparing the case as if they're trying to answer every question that would be asked in the case discussion. And the whole point is that not every student can answer every question. So you only want to answer a few questions, but answer them well.
If I could go back and give myself one piece of advice when reading cases, it would be to chill out.
To allow myself to grow through the process.
Do your best and understand that there's 90 other people that are trying to go through the same thing, and you're gonna learn from each other. You don't have to know everything heading into your next class.